Amy Milton. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Psychology, and my research looks at memory and psychiatric disorders. So the book I'm going to talk about is Requiem for a Dream by Hubert Selby Jr. The thing I found particularly useful for the book was basically provided motivation for me, particularly when I was reading this as I was writing up my thesis. So my thesis was specifically looking at cocaine addiction and whether it was possible to erase the memories that lead to relapse in cocaine addiction. It was very, very good at keeping me motivated because it really underlines how addiction is a loss of control, and quite often the situation, the initial situation that a person ends up in that leads to them becoming addicted is not always entirely of their own making. And once you start on this negative spiral, it's very, very difficult to get out of it. So it was very good to have that thought in the back of my mind that there are we need to develop treatments for this disorder, and anything that can be done to bring that closer to a clinical reality is something that should be done urgently. And that's really did help me, sort of motivating me to get writing and finish my thesis. I think that the book gave me a real insight into what it's like for individuals living with addiction, especially as they begin that spiral into addiction. I think also it summed up how addiction and the consequences of it have not always been taken completely seriously as a disease by medicine in general, but also by psychiatry. The treatment, I think, of Sarah Goldfarb is a very, very hard read. The history of psychiatry has a lot of these instances where mental disorders were not treated appropriately, and I think it underlines that. I've used that as an example with students to really highlight the fact that you have to see the person behind. You have to see the person who has the mental disorder. You can't just see the disorder. And for that reason, we don't talk about addicts in the lab. We talk about addicted individuals because they're people. And I think the book really gets that across. And I think that was something that it gave to me that you wouldn't get from reading the scientific literature on addiction.